Discourse.
Current affairs.
We must not extricate anybody from corruption. If any one of them is found wanting, the due course and the law must take its course.
Nation building.
Administration is slightly different from the last one in the fight against corruption.
We need to really task our leaders, who are the religious leaders, from the emir, from the bishops, from whoever they can.
Some of our village markets, there are people, they call them in Hausa yang nakama. They are like agberu in the markets.
Whatever anything is not useful to you is not important to you.
Politics.
What happened in Benue might be political. It still has an undertone, not political, dated way back. If you follow history.
It's interactive.
Not part of Nigeria.
Okay.
And it will not be good for us.
When they gather their people, they tell them, these Hausa people are your enemies. When Hausas gather together, they tell them, these Igbo people are your enemies. When the Yoruba people gather together, they say the same thing.
Who are we? We are just from the background. And today we are here in TSTV. And that is why we must propagate our own.
National Discourse. Weekdays on NCTV.
All right, good morning, beautiful people of Nigeria, and of course to the world at large. Now, today is another day for National Discourse, and of course we always bring you with current affairs, things that are actually happening at the moment. And let's remember again that the Independent National Electoral Commission, as a body, is not just saddled with the responsibility of conducting election. They still are saddled with the responsibility of having to recall a member of the National Assembly or State House of Assembly when the need arises. Now, on Saturday, there was a recall process. Let's remember they have this in Section 4 of their own act, the Independent National Electoral Act of 1998. Now, on Saturday, there was an attempt to recall departing Senator Dino Melaye. What took place? What happened? What's the outcome of that? That is all we're going to discuss today. And with me in the studio is someone who is capable of handling this topic and, of course, answering our questions as our calls will actually come in. I have Barrister Butu with me today.
Yeah, good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir. All right, I'll go for a short break now. And when we come back, we head straight into the recall process of Dino Melaye. I still remain your host, Uche Uduma. Please stay with us. Welcome to National Discourse.
Current affairs.
We must not extricate anybody from corruption. If any one of them is found wanting, the due course and the law must take its course.
Nation building.
Administration is slightly different from the last one in the fight against corruption.
We need to really task our leaders, who are the religious leaders, from the emir, from the bishops, from whoever they can.
Some of our village markets, there are people, they call them in Hausa yang nakama. They are like agberu in the markets.
Whatever anything is not useful to you is not important to you.
Politics.
What happened in Benue might be political. It still has an undertone, not political, dated way back. If you follow history.
It's interactive.
Not part of Nigeria.
Okay.
And it will not be good for us.
When they gather their people, they tell them, these Hausa people are your enemies. When Hausas gather together, they tell them, these Igbo people are your enemies. When the Yoruba people gather together, they say the same thing.
Who are we? We are just from the background. And today we are here in TSTV. And that is why we must propagate our own.
National Discourse. Weekdays on NCTV.
All right, welcome back from that break. Straight on, sir. There was a recall process that took place on Saturday in Kogi State. All right, now, it's no longer news that it's a failed process, or it failed. The recall process failed. So we want to know the update. Like, apart from the fact that it failed, what really took place or what really happened? What's the conditions? What are the things that made it to fail?
Okay, first, we need to give kudos to INEC for their tenacity from the initiation process of this recall exercise to its conclusion. At a point, they were in court, and the court ruled on the process, and asked that they continue the process and told them to continue the process, which we saw the conclusion on Saturday. I would like to also give kudos to INEC for being very open with the whole exercise. We have our democracy over the years. We've seen a constant growth, starting from when we had candidates imposed on us to the point where we could vote out candidates who we don't like. And now we have gotten to that process where we now know that if there is a representative whom we don't like, we can recall the person. But what happened on Saturday, you have to look at it from, let me say, from the point of the grassroots. Going back to Kogi State, I am from Kogi State. People saw the recall process as a battle between the sitting governor of Kogi State and Senator Dino Melaye. The sitting governor of Kogi State is not popular in Kogi State.
Okay.
That you need to establish that fact. Now, to buttress that fact is a result of the recall process on Saturday, which had a turnout of only 5%. Now, at a point, this is how it works. Petitions are submitted to INEC by registered voters. So when INEC receives this petition, they are supposed to conduct a verification exercise of this petition, which is what we saw on Saturday. So the people who submitted the petitions and signed the petitions were supposed to come physically on Saturday to come and identify their signatures.
But that didn't happen.
Yes, it didn't. It happened.
Yeah, it
the
happened.
exercise happened.
The population
yes,
that actually
yes, the exercise happened, but the result is not the anticipated result, or the result is not what the people who organized or who orchestrated the recall process is not what they expected. We had only 5%. And then, as early as 9 a.m. on Saturday, we're getting, people started raising alarms. There were instances where people came to the stations, the polling stations, and identified the names of dead relatives. One man even went as far as posting the list where his daughter's name appeared, and alongside his daughter's permanent voter's card, and said, "I lost my daughter in FMC, that Federal Medical Center, Lokoja." He put the date of the girl's death. So her death preceded the date of the petition.
Okay, now that brings us to the question. Okay, if these people are dead, right? How did the names get in as part of the petitions?
Yeah, it goes a long way to show you how desperate some people were to recall Senator Dino Melaye. I'm not holding brief for Senator Dino Melaye. Over the days, let me say over the last few months, whenever he's in the news, it's always for one reason or the other, not very wonderful reasons, and but his people like him. His people love him. That is the result that
was shown on Saturday.
Yes, that's what we are seeing now.
He got 96.4%.
So
and then leaving the remaining for
5%. I mean, that in any examination that you write and you score over 90%, I mean, that's an excellent result.
Okay.
Which is what we saw on Saturday.
Now, can we compare the result with or against the background of what he's actually going through now?
Yeah, well,
if you can remember what happened all through last week.
I think these are two different things. The result which we saw on Saturday is the conclusion of a process that has been on for months. I think they started a process last year, and they just concluded it on Saturday. The criminal case, which he has been in the news for in the recent 1 week or thereabout, is totally different from the recall process that we just concluded.
Okay. Now, sorry, sir. Why I'm asking that question is, we had, aside the people, the dead people that we saw in the list, if we had 5% turnout, it means there are part of the petitioners that could not come out on Saturday. That's why I'm trying to link it.
Well,
do you think it's out of sympathy?
There could be people who could not turn out on Saturday, but this is a democracy. Democracy is a game of numbers. Winner takes it all. So majority of the votes or majority of the people who came out or who did not come out
did not turn out
favored Dino Melaye. So majority takes all. But in this case, the majority is exceedingly let me call it outstanding. 94%. Come on, that's maximum majority to me.
Okay, now why I'm asking this question is because people came out and people actually filed this petition.
Actually, the reports we got is that some people actually came out and they came to deny the signatures.
Okay.
Some people actually came out to come and
is their name and
this is my name.
Yeah.
This is my name, but that is not my signature.
So what do you think happened in the process? Is it that, or could it be that they are there, but because of what is happening now, that's what I'm trying to link it. They're trying to pull back, or is it that I don't know? What do you think? Really
Initially, I said in Kogi State, the governor is not very popular as it is now. I have to be very factual with you. The governor in Kogi State is not enjoying the popularity of.
Why? What are the reasons?
Well,
is it not living to expectations as a governor of Kogi State?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I think the reasons are best known to the people of Kogi State. But presently, I don't think he's enjoying the maximum popularity which he ought to enjoy. So I think there's a transfer of that aggression to the recall process. Apart from that, there were many issues wrong with the recall process. Not the process actually, but with let me say with the intentions of those who initiated the process. We had people coming out to say this person is a relative, this person passed on before this process commenced, this is my name, but I registered in this polling station, but that is not my signature. We even had a report of someone coming to say, wow, like 10 different names are carrying the same signature.
So was there no proper verification from INEC?
That's the verification exercise that INEC had to conclude yesterday on Saturday. That is the proper verification. Now these signatures were these names, the petitions were written. So what INEC did was, here is the petition, here are the people who signed the petition. You come out, identify your name, identify your signature, then they will count it that way. So it was more of a physical verification that they carried out on Saturday, and the result is what we are seeing.
Okay, now if this happened now, of course this is his first time in the Senate, right?
Yes.
Good. Now, what are we looking at next year?
Well,
without recourse to the outcome of the criminal case that's still going on.
Yes, without recourse to the outcome of the criminal case.
Yes.
Next year is the election year.
From him?
Yeah, for all of us generally.
Okay.
For all, but I see Dino coming back, picking the ticket to run on the same platform or on any other platform he may choose to run on. The choice is for his people, the good people of Kogi West, to decide whether or not Dino Melaye will continue to be their senator for the next 4 years.
Okay, now let's look at the feud between Yahaya Bello, the governor, and Senator Dino Melaye. Apart from what we know, like the criminal case that is going on, is there another update? Is there another thing that is going on? Is there any personal thing that serves like personal interest between two of them?
Well, I wouldn't say there's a personal interest between two of them, because Yahaya Bello is the governor of Kogi State. There's no dispute as to that. And Dino Melaye is the senator of Kogi State. Their roles are visibly divided. But I think their issues started when Dino Melaye publicly came out to criticize the administration of Yahaya Bello. I think that's when their issues started. They started having their various quarrels and coming out, name calling and all those things. But the main issue is that the governor is not doing well. And the senator, who happens to be from the same party with the governor, who supported the governor throughout the inauguration process, because of course he did not contest. in the election. So he supported him when the governor was sworn in. Dino Melaye was there to beat the drums for him, to tell people that this is the Messiah we've always waited for, we've always longed for in Kogi State. But when the Messiah did not deliver according to him on the promises which they felt he was going to deliver on, then they started having issues. We've seen, like I said earlier, I'm from Kogi State. We've seen, this is the first time we are experiencing, or we are having this type of a young governor. So you'll understand that expectations will be high on him to perform. So there are workers in Kogi State who've gone more than 1 year without taking a salary. People are dying in Kogi State. They can't pay hospital bills. Some hospitals are on strike. Some schools have been closed for months. So when these type of things happen, you don't expect people to sit down and they won't say nothing. And Dino Melaye, being who he is, he had to come out and openly criticize the governor, even on the floor of the National Assembly. So I think the recall process is necessarily a process of fighting back. Although Dino Melaye, permit me to say this on national TV.
Okay.
Dino Melaye, over the years, he has not been a very wonderful senator, so to say. He has always been in the news for one reason or the other, and so you don't expect everybody from his constituency to be happy with what they are saying. Some people are not satisfied. Some people want more. But the result with that we all witnessed on Saturday goes a long way to tell us that, well, he may not be the perfect senator, which we expect him to be.
But he has popularity.
Well, he has popularity back there in his people, and that is what matters for him. That's what will give him the next ticket if he can maintain this type of popularity in the next election. Rest assured, Dino Melaye will be back in the Senate. Okay,
I would want to link your last statement, to what happened last week. Now, from the recall process, the result we've seen, we discovered that he's popular in Kogi State. Now the question is, why was he evading, arraignment in Kogi State?
I wouldn't be in the best position to answer that question for you, because those are reasons best known for him. We saw the whole media razzmatazz about his arrest, his escape, or his so-called escape, and then his admission in the hospital. I wouldn't be in the best position.
What's the update on that? Can we have a quick update?
Well, presently, the best of my knowledge,
from Zanklik Hospital to National Hospital here in Abuja.
To the best of my knowledge, he has not been arraigned. I think the case was even moved to Federal High Court, but in fact, the criminal case has been relegated to the background because of this whole recall. When the recall process dies down, we'll get back to the criminal case.
Now, from the eye of the law, if someone has this kind of issue, is involved in a criminal case of this magnitude, and of course someone that is very, how will I put it, someone that is conspicuous, I beg to use that word, like even a small child knows that this is Senator Dino.
There is a Dino Melaye.
Yes, that's why I use that word. Okay. Now, against the background of what is happening,
yes, the
process on Saturday still took place. From the eye of the law, I mean, how do you see it?
Dino Melaye has been accused of an offense. He will have his day in court. So the court will have to make a declaration as to his innocence or his guilt. He has not been declared guilty by any court
of competent jurisdiction.
So we have to wait for the criminal process to be properly initiated in court and concluded before we can raise any issues as to that. Presently, he has been accused of a crime, but he has not been convicted. So he's free to do anything he wants. He can run. In Nigeria, we've had senators, or we've had people winning elections while in prison custody.
So this will not have any effect.
It's not going to have any effect
on his intentions,
And
which
it
are
won't-
not known to anybody
It
yet.
won't have any effect on his intentions until the court sits down and declares that Dino Melaye is guilty of this offense, this offense, this offense. That is the only time where he may be disqualified from running.
All right, we all know that in Nigeria we have so many political parties, and then of course we have two major political parties. All right, we have the ruling party and we have PDP. Now, for next year's election, what happened on Saturday? Now, moving away from the person, Senator Dino Melaye, going back to the party itself, the victory of Senator Dino Melaye, or the recall process on Saturday, what effect will it have on APC? Or what effect do you think it will have on PDP coming up next year? We'll look at that when we come back from the short break. Please stay with us. Welcome to National Discourse.
Current affairs.
We must not extricate anybody from corruption. If any one of them is found wanting, the due course and the law must take its course.
Nation building.
Administration is slightly different from the last one in the fight against corruption.
We need to really task our leaders, who are the religious leaders, from the emir, from the bishops, from whoever they can.
Some of our village markets, there are people, they call them in Hausa yang nakama. They are like agberu in the markets.
Whatever anything is not useful to you is not important to you.
Politics.
What happened in Benue might be political. It still has an undertone, not political, dated way back. If you follow history.
It's interactive.
Not part of Nigeria.
Okay.
And it will not be good for us.
When they gather their people, they tell them, these Hausa people are your enemies. When Hausas gather together, they tell them, these Igbo people are your enemies. When the Yoruba people gather together, they say the same thing.
Who are we? We are just from the background, and today we are here in TSTV, and that is why we must propagate our own.
National Discourse. Weekdays on NCTV.
Welcome to National Discourse.
Current affairs.
We must not extricate anybody from corruption. If any one of them is found wanting, the due course and the law must take its course.
Nation building.
Administration is slightly different from the last one in the fight against corruption.
We need to really task our leaders, who are the religious leaders, from the emir, from the bishops, from whoever they can.
Some of our village markets, there are people, they call them in Hausa yang nakama. They are like agberu in the markets.
Whatever anything is not useful to you is not important to you.
Politics.
What happened in Benue might be political. It still has an undertone, not political, dated way back. If you follow history.
It's interactive.
Not part of Nigeria.
Okay.
And it will not be good for us.
When they gather their people, they tell them, these Hausa people are your enemies. When Hausas gather together, they tell them, these Igbo people are your enemies. When the Yoruba people gather together, they say the same thing.
Who are we? We are just from the background, and today we are here in TSTV, and that is why we must propagate our own.
National Discourse. Weekdays on NCTV.
All right, welcome back from that short break. Before we move on the break, we said we're going to look at the effect of the recall process that took place on Saturday, the effect on APC, and the effect on PDP, majorly.
Okay. Let me use this opportunity to, first of all, congratulate Senator Dino Melaye once more for successfully winning this battle.
He deserves some accolades.
He deserves some accolades. So, yeah, so I think it's time for him to move on to other fights. He has really been embattled over the last few months. Now, as for APC, Dino Melaye is still a member of APC. I think the victory of Dino Melaye in the recall process is still another victory for APC, and I think they should roll out the drums and celebrate their Senator Dino Melaye. As for PDP, well, I think they have to put their house in order if they really want to win back Kogi State. I don't think it's going to be an easy task winning this or dragging a senatorial seat away from Senator Dino Melaye. So I think by now they should be putting together one or two strategies or to find a way to wrestle away that seat from APC come 2019.
Okay, now looking at PDP, I know the reactions that have trailed this recall process. Okay, first of all, we saw the chairman of APC in Kogi State, saying so many things at the same time. When someone is spitting a whole lot of things, and those things really are witty words, but very heavy and of value. Now, going back to PDP, what do you think this could mean to them? Like their popularity in Kogi State. Let's start with that.
One thing you need to know about Kogi politics is that Kogi politics is quite funny because they don't...
Sorry, I think we have a call.
Okay.
Okay, go on.
In Kogi State, the politics in Kogi State, over the years, we've seen it develop. Kogi State is one place that presently they don't vote for parties. They rather go with the candidates. So, and in the last election, it was Smart Adeyemi against Dino Melaye, Smart Adeyemi of PDP.
Hello.
So, okay.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from, please?
My name is Yinka, calling from Abuja.
Okay, so what's the contribution of your question, please?
My question is that after the calling process now, what happens to Senator Dino now? Is he going to sue the first government or is he going to sue Yaya Bello? Because we don't know the people that even contribute their science engagement. We don't see them on the calling process. So are we saying they are the dead people?
Okay, sir, you heard the question.
Okay,
thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful question. Now, the choice of what to do next is at the absolute discretion of Senator Dino Melaye. If he wants, or if he's interested, he can sue the government or Kogi State, the Kogi State government, or whoever, or INEC, whoever he wants to sue. But I think it's a victory for him already. I don't think he needs to go that route of engaging in another battle. I think it's a victory, a wonderful victory for him. He has defeated them at the polls once more. I think he should go ahead and celebrate for that.
Okay, in addition to this, I know so many people don't know. I think the question, the basis, what he actually wanted to know is it possible, or is it, how will I put it? Is it proper? Let me use the word. Is it proper for him to sue these people?
Like I said, it's at his discretion. If he feels he has enough grounds to sue them, maybe he feels they've maligned his name or they've publicly tried to ridicule his personality, his person as a senator, he can go ahead and sue whoever he thinks is behind the whole process. But I don't think that will be necessary for him to do.
Okay, we're talking about PDP. How what happened will be probably to make PDP popular or to make them unpopular in Kogi State. And of course, an extension of Kogi, PDP or APC is the nationals.
Yeah, like I told you earlier on, Kogi State is not a state where you have people coming out to vote for the party, who are voting for the party, who are voting for this party. They are more interested in voting for the candidates.
Sure, I think we have a call.
Okay.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, calling from Kogi State, Shola by name.
Your name is what?
Shola by name.
Shola, you're calling from Kogi State.
Yeah.
Okay. Please, your question or your contribution?
Yeah, and the issue of Dino Melaye recall. Actually, I'm a Kogite, and I'm not APC, whether I'm PDP. But the issue on ground, Kogite stands in justice. What happened between Dino Melaye and the federal government and the state government is beautiful for Dino Melaye because he's saying he's keeping voice in Kogi State. Majority of us don't even know. Majority of people out there, they don't know what's happening in the state. So, concerning the issue of the call of Dino, there is a set up for him. Thank God. I personally, I went to that place to check the name. They wrote there and signed. I said my mom name, I said mine, and I was asking in the record process. I didn't sign. I didn't sign to record Dino Melaye because I know it can't on people.
But you saw your name there?
Shola by name.
I'm saying when you went out there, did you see your name on the list?
Yeah, my name was there.
But you never signed in for this, right?
I never signed.
Okay.
So all this is just the handwork of PPC. But mind you, on the issue of PDP, come 2019, I want to assure you that PDP, even the by-election come August or September, I want to assure you APC will not win. That's just it.
Did you say APC will not win or PDP will not win?
APC will not win.
Okay.
People are start voting for APC currently now in the state because the bad leadership we are having in the state, bad leadership. The government is bad. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Shola from Kogi State. We've heard you.
Yes, taking the cue from the last thing he said. You see, I told you earlier on at the beginning of the show that it's not the present governor of Kogi State is not very popular in Kogi State. Like what he said Bello's government is not good. That is the general perception in Kogi State. General perception. People, even if the candidate, like what we saw like what he said as well, he said he did not sign the petition, but he went there and he saw his name.
His mother's name inclusive.
Yeah, so there were many instances of this. People going there like, I did not sign and my name is on the list. People actually came out to deny the signatures, to show you how far people really went to defend the senator. Not only did they stay back, some people actually came to the polling center to say, that is my name, but I did not sign this. And let me repeat it. We should give kudos to INEC for making this very open. Yes, very open. In fact, we were getting reports immediately. The polling stations opened. Reports were coming in. People were taking pictures from pictures of the list of the signatories to the petition, and they will take the picture and they will tell you, look, my name is on number 207, but that signature is not mine. People came out to actually do that. It goes a long way to show you how popular or unpopular the present government in Kogi State is.
Can we just take a look at the list we're seeing there? And then from what the information we gathered, and of course from the last caller, people's names appeared that never bargained for it. Like they didn't sign up, they were not part of the petitioners, but they got there. Like the last caller said, he saw his name and he saw his mother's name. Like how come?
So
he didn't plan for it or anything.
Yeah, I think we need to investigate some of these things. Where did this list come from? Who generated these names? And the person should be prosecuted because that is forgery on its own. So if you put my name on the list and claim that I signed the petition, which I am not even aware of, and then you put a signature there and claim that that's my signature.
With my voter's card.
Yeah, with my voter's card. I think we need to investigate where that list originated from, which INEC official is involved in the whole thing.
Okay, but looking at it logically, most of the list or part of it must come from INEC. Because if you're saying that they had access to people's voter's card, I know it's possible that you sign up, but looking at the number of people that never signed up and they saw their names and the voter's card, and then from people that died from hospitals and all that, I think this should be properly investigated.
Yeah, it goes a long way to show how desperate our people have become these days to secure or to score a political point. Yeah, they can go that far. As sorry to say this on national TV, our political class are morally bankrupt. To go this far, mold people's signatures, get their voters card, but I really want to give kudos to INEC. If INEC had not come out to make this thing public, probably by now we would have heard that they would have cooked up on that story, and we would have heard that Dino Melaye has been successfully recalled. But I am very grateful to INEC for what they've done, and they made this very open. This is let me call this a foretelling of what we may most likely see in Kogi State come 2019.
Now, from what he said he loves the fact that Dino Melaye won, but they are not going to vote APC.
Well,
That's a sharp contrast.
Dino Melaye is still a member of APC.
That is where my worry is coming from.
Yes, Dino Melaye is
it
still a
means
member
they
of
love the
APC.
person, but they don't like the party.
So there will be...
And then a person must fly under the umbrella of a party, you know, to be elected. Sorry, let's pick this call. Hello.
Yeah.
Good morning to you. Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, I'm calling from Abia State.
You're calling from Abia State, and your name?
Okay, my name is Ikechuku.
Ikechuku, okay.
Yes, this is a card of a thing. This is a card of a thing. This better sky. In Abia State, we don't want to participate in anything like that. We need Jaffa. So we need Jaffa. That's our achievement. That's what we need. If people want us to participate in this, know that people are going to allow us to conduct our referendum. That is all.
Okay, we probably you just tuned in. We were talking about the recall of Senator Dino Melaye that took place on Saturday.
That is left for them. Like, all of them are all pass. All their distance, they are all pass. So we don't block it here.
Okay, you don't want to participate in the recall process.
Let them solve their issue against the federal government. That is all. Nothing concerns there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ikechuku from Abia State. Thanks for your contribution there. That is another issue for deliberation. I don't know, he's talking about Biafra and all that, but that is actually way off from what we are talking about.
I think that'll be a wonderful topic for another day.
Yes.
So
okay, so before this caller came in, we are looking at someone saying, I love the victory, but I can't vote the party. In fact, we can't vote the party.
yes, like I told you earlier on, in as much as Dino Melaye is a member of APC, people still came out to vote for him. Come 2019, I want to believe that immaterial of whichever party Dino Melaye decides to run under, but I'm still believing that he'll still be with the APC in spite of all the battles that he has fought and won over the course of his first senatorial stint. I still believe that he will run under APC, and the good people, or his good people who love him so much because he's their beloved senator, will still come out to vote for him. There are some other senators from other parts of the country which you don't even get to hear about. My own senator, I don't even know whether he's in the floor of the Senate. But here is Dino Melaye. He's always in the news. And remember, there's a saying that goes that there's nothing like bad publicity. Publicity is publicity. Every time Dino Melaye is on the news, whether for the wrong reasons or for the right reasons,
but he's on the news.
Dino Melaye is on the news, and you are talking about Dino Melaye, and his people are still hearing his name. At least they know that there is a senator, Dino Melaye. So I believe come 2019, Dino Melaye will still run under whatever platform, and his people will still vote for him.
So now, the reason why we vote for senators to go to represent us as a people is for those people to speak on our behalf. And then over the years, we discovered that Senator Dino Melaye is one of those. You know, when you talk about him, talk about Ben Money Bruce, though he's always talking about ideologies, all right? But this is one person that is always speaking up, regardless. Then after speaking up at the floor of the assembly, he will not make a funny video and push it out. So there's no how he will not be popular.
Yeah, you see, that, like I told you earlier, I don't even know whether my own senator, whether he's even in the National Assembly. But Dino Melaye, he's there. You know, you always know that Dino Melaye is there. He's on the floor of the National Assembly. So I think his people are happy with what he's doing for them. And that's why they came out en masse to support him. And come 2019, don't be surprised. They will still do the same. They will repeat the same thing, and they'll come out to vote for Senator Dino Melaye. I'm not holding brief for Senator Dino Melaye, but what happened over this last weekend goes a long way to show us how popular Dino Melaye is with his people.
And then talking about INEC, I think they deserve so much. I don't want to use accolades. They deserve so much. How will I put it? In fact, we are grateful to them Let me just use that word.
Yes.
Because if they didn't make this as transfer, okay, imagine what would have happened.
Yeah, if they had gone ahead without making it transparent, it would lay a very bad precedent for our democracy. It has gone a long way to show you how we have grown. People have come out to know now. You now start seeing people having faith in the process. People are now there is more confidence in the process, in the electoral process, which is very good for our democracy. What it means now is that if actually there's a senator or a representative that the people actually want to recall, they can go ahead and recall that person.
Having faith in what happened.
Yes, having faith in what happened on Saturday. Yes, it's going to be transparent. Now we have now tested what it means to recall a sitting senator. I believe we'll take it to a higher level when our democracy will grow to the point where you start seeing the impeachment of governors and presidents. We are getting to that place.
Okay, can I pick this call? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Please, can you turn down the volume of your TV set? Oh, we lost that call.
Okay, so like I was saying, we are growing. Our democracy is growing. We need to identify that fact that our democracy is growing. I mean, but the best thing we should do, which is what we saw on Friday, is to build a process that works.
Sorry. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Please, your name and where you're calling from.
Alexander Jonathan calling from Taraba.
Alexandra Jonathan
Yes.
from Taraba State.
Calling
Okay.
from Taraba State.
All right. You're welcome. Please, your question.
What?
Go ahead. Wow. We lost that call. I think the network is actually poor or something.
So you see, we are going to that period, or that we are getting that era in which people will have faith in processes.
Sorry. Hello. Please, can you tune down the volume of your TV set?
Yeah, can you hear me now properly?
Yes, I can. Your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, my name is Obum Ibe. I'm an honorable.
Obum?
I'm calling from Ibe, from Enugu State.
Okay, an honorable from Enugu State.
Yes.
Can you go on, sir?
Yes, I want to commend the people of Kogi West Central Zone for turning down the call for Dino recall.
Okay.
That's a long way to show that the NPC has failed the people, the entire nation, not only in Kogi State. When a sitting governor cannot probably mobilize his supporters to even come out and prove that Dino is not working, that shows that Dino has even taken over Kogi State. You understand? I saw one of the Kogi guys that was saying that instead of Dino to be recalled, the governor should go. And they prefer Dino Melaye to the sitting governor. You understand? And I know that the state governor, Kogi state governor, is one of the governors who is owing the workers, the state workers, for months. How can you probably say that you want to become a senator when you are not even doing well? The senator is even doing better than you. So it shows that the NDC government, if they know that they will continue, they have to change the lives of the people. People are hungry. A hungry person cannot come out and say that he's recording a senator.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that contribution, sir. Going back to this last caller, was it Yaya Bello that initiated this process?
I will, well, on paper it's not Yaya Bello, because I don't think Yaya Bello's signature or his name appeared on that list.
Okay.
He's not from the same senatorial district as Dino Melaye, and I don't think he's the governor who initiated the process. I don't think he's the one who wrote the petition.
This goes a long way to talk about the unpopularity of the governor.
Yes, the governor is not as...
Sorry, let me pick this call. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Ahmed. I'm calling from Yogi.
Your name is what?
Ahmed, I'm calling from Yobe.
You're Ahmed from Yobe State. Please, can you tune down the volume of your TV set? All right. All right.
Hello?
Yes, your contribution or your question, sir?
Yeah, that's my issue with the resident. But you know, sometimes when you're studying them, some the leader and the senators, most of them all they're very bad. They just only need themselves, they know themselves, they don't know what is happening in the lost country. They want all causes this kind of problem in the country. And they are all the time when you get, even if you need job to get to the work and they will not give you, they will not allow you. They only know themselves and their child and then some other friendly people. So, is that how we do the leader in the country? Look at, for example, look at Niger Republic. Look at Ghana. All they have, their leaders, they are doing well and they're doing well for the poor people. But we people in Nigeria, they don't respect human beings, they don't respect the poor people, they just know themselves. Especially like security options, especially on security. When you're coming to National Assembly, if you don't have money, they will not allow you to go there. They will not allow you to enter inside. And they will start to tell you, who are you, who want you, do you have any appointment? All those senatorians, they are very useless people in the country.
Okay, sir. We understand your point, but we wouldn't encourage you to, rain fiscal insults on our leaders.
Hello?
We actually understand your point, sir. So, hello, can you hear me, sir?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Now, this is, it goes a long way to show you how people feel, but honestly, we can't encourage that on national TV. And I was trying to pick the point that he was trying to make. I think
what he was saying is that the leaders, the crop of leaders that we have are not really bothered about their people. I think that's what he was trying to
Sorry,
to
can
say
I
there.
please go? Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Please, your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling from the State.
You're calling from where?
Hello?
You're calling from where?
Taraba State.
Taraba State, and your name, sir?
Taraba State, Taraba.
What is your name, sir?
Jonathan.
Okay, Jonathan. Okay, you called back.
Jonathan.
Thanks for calling back, sir. Please, can we hear you now? Oh, we lost that call again.
I think he has a very vital point to
He
make,
has
and
something very, very tangible to say. So, still reacting from the last caller.
Yeah, I think he was trying to criticize our leaders. He was saying that when you go to the National Assembly, you may not be granted entrance because of one reason or the other. I think it's a wonderful topic for another day. But today we're talking about the recall of Senator Dino Melaye.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I was trying to tell you before the calls started coming in, our institutions are growing. And we have the institution of INEC. They've grown over the years, and they've now shown us that they have laid down proper processes which they implemented over the weekend.
Okay.
To for the recall process, and
that's
now
a very good precedent.
Yes, I think this is going to put an end to the whole recall speculations. Are they going to recall him? No, he'll be recalled. This has put an end to it. I believe now we cannot focus on the next election.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. I have called before.
Okay.
Obun from Enugu State.
Obun from Enugu State. Okay.
Yes. The line goes along the line. So, there's another question I want to ask.
Go ahead.
People use the petition.
Sorry?
Those people that sent the signatures.
Okay.
In the petition. The petitioners.
Yes, sir.
How are they going to be treated? I hope that they will be brought to book as soon as possible. So that such a thing will not repeat itself.
That's right.
Many people people in the presence of the elected officials were showing their names and how their signatures were put. So what I'm asking in essence, or what I'm requesting, or what I'm saying is that those people should not be allowed to go free. Otherwise, it will occur again in the near future.
All right. Thank you very much. Our guest here will deal with that. I think you've said something about it before.
Yes,
I can just retrieve that.
I said something about it. I said there should be a proper investigations as to the origins of these names, where they came from, who created the list, where did they get these voters cards from, who signed the purported signatures. I think I said that before. We need to properly investigate these things and put an end to these sharp practices. I said earlier that it goes a long way to show how desperate our political class can be sometimes to score a cheap political point.
All right, I think we have another call here. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Please, your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Shegun. I'm calling from Lokoja, capital.
Okay, sir. Shegun from Lokoja. You're welcome, sir.
I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to express ourselves. I want to tell you that COVID is scam. The atmosphere is okay. The result of the no record is true reflection of what is to happen in 2019 or 2020 and the case will be. Melaye speaks for the oppressed. Speak against the governor, because the governor, as I'm talking to you now, has refused to pay some workers' salaries for more than 22 months, 26 months, 2 years plus. It's paying workers at a random. People are dying of hardship and suffering in good effect. So nobody, no right thinking senator will be quiet and be playing politics with it. The record exercise was a political handwork of the governor and his staffs. But we thank God that they are put to shame. They are disgraced. And their disgrace is just a sign of what to come 2019 election or 2020. It's just the beginning of their failure. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for calling and hooking up to this program. Now, reacting to this, the question is, a governor is owing workers' salary for 20, he says 22 months. That's over 2 years.
No.
Does it mean that
1 year and 10 months?
Nobody can regulate, is it that there's nobody that can, make him pay the salaries? Is there no higher authority that can regulate? Because I'm trying to imagine how the workers are coping. And the truth is they must still go to work. How are they surviving?
I wouldn't know how they are surviving, but it still baffles me how they're managing to survive. It goes a long way to tell you, like I said earlier, the governor is not popular in Kogi State. Why is he not popular? These are the reasons why it's not popular. When you're not paying your workers, definitely you're not going to be popular. The people will not only be hungry, they'll be angry. When people can meet their needs, I think sometimes last year we had a report of a senior civil servant committing suicide because he could not foot the hospital bills.
Sorry, let's take this, and this is going to be our last call for the day. Good morning. Hello, good morning to you. We lost that call. It's very unfortunate we can't take more calls today.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I was trying to tell you, the people of Kogi are not having the best of times presently. The workers of Kogi State are not having the best of times presently.
There's nothing that nobody can do anything. Like nobody can give the street instruction. I understand this is what Dino has been fighting. It's on the floor of the house. But we are saying, is there no higher authority that can, do something about this?
It's a federal system that we operate here. The governor doesn't answer to any person. He cannot answer to a higher authority. Maybe you want to talk about the president. Maybe the president may be in a position to only advise him, but he cannot give him a directive as to what he should do. But he is the number one man in Kogi State. He decides what should happen in Kogi State. The only people who can call him to order are the members of the Kogi State House of Assembly. But would they be able to do that? That's a question which I cannot answer here.
All right, this is where we are going to wrap up on National Discuss today. And our heart, like I sympathy, goes to the people of Kogi State because of the non-payment of salary. He said 22 years. I don't know. 22 months. Sorry. I don't know how they are coping, but however it is, we believe that God will still give them the strength to continue to live up to the expectations, especially family people or people that have families. And of course, going back to Dino Melaye's case, we can see that this is a victory for democracy. like we said, that INEC have done well in this recall process. They made it so transparent, and this is what we probably will be expecting come next year. And then what the second to the last caller said, like what will happen to these people that brought this list, which you have addressed. We employ INEC to go back to original source of this list, so that this will not happen again. But once again, congratulations to Senator Dino Melaye, of course, to Nigerians for a very transparent democratic process. This is where we stop today. Like I said, thank you very much, sir, for coming.
You're welcome.
Sorry we won't be able to pick more calls today. I remain your host, Uche Uduma. Tomorrow is another day. We're going to be addressing salient issues that affect us again as Nigerians. Goodbye and God bless you.